When the online world buzzes, it is often because of conflict, drama, or big announcements from the entertainment industry. But this time, the attention centered on something far quieter, yet far more meaningful. Thai actor Tay Tawan Vihokratanas responding to a hate comment with calm grace. In a landscape where negativity spreads as fast as breaking news, his gentle, mature reaction became a moment people were drawn to, talked about, and deeply appreciated. It began with a simple thread on social media, where fans were discussing Tay, his projects, and his recent public appearances. The conversation was lighthearted until one anonymous user left a harsh message aimed at him, a comment clouded with unnecessary negativity. The words weren't just critical but cutting, questioning his relevance, his talent, and even his appearance. For many celebrities, this is sadly nothing new. Hate comments appear daily, often ignored or deleted before they can cause a stir. But this time, Tay noticed, and instead of responding with frustration or silence, he chose to answer in a way that caught the hearts of thousands. His reply was short, calm, and astonishingly gentle. He didn't attack the commenter, nor did he defend himself aggressively. Instead, he acknowledged the words, thanked them for sharing their opinion, and reminded them, and everyone watching, that behind every public figure is a human being who feels, tries, and continues to grow. His message was not sarcastic or bitter. It felt like a quiet smile in written form. And that alone turned what could have been fuel for drama into something unexpectedly sincere. Within minutes, fans began sharing screenshots of his response across multiple platforms. People marveled at how he remained composed, how he neither dismissed the negativity nor let it poison his tone. The kindness in his reply struck people deeply. Some said it reminded them of why they admired him in the first place, not just for his acting or his looks, but for the way he carries himself, steady, warm, and grounded. Those who had been following his career for years weren't surprised. Tay had always been known for his thoughtful presence. Whether interacting with fans, co-actors, or even strangers in interviews, he exuded a gentle sincerity that made people comfortable. Seeing that same energy directed toward a moment of criticism made his response feel authentic, not performative. It wasn't a celebrity crafting a PR-safe message. It was a person choosing empathy over retaliation. Soon, the story grew beyond casual fan discussion. Entertainment pages began picking it up. They wrote about how his response reflected emotional maturity and an understanding of the digital age, where words travel quickly and emotions often get tangled. Comment sections across platforms were filled with praise. Many people thanked him for reminding everyone that kindness can exist even when the situation doesn't seem to deserve it. Interestingly, some users admitted they had expected a different kind of reaction. They thought Tay would ignore the comment, or post something defensive, or simply block the person. Instead, he chose acknowledgement. He chose gentleness. That decision changed the direction of the narrative completely. What began as an act of negativity transformed into a public display of graciousness that inspired others. Fans began sharing their own stories, moments when they faced online criticism or negativity in their personal lives. They wrote about how his attitude encouraged them to take a breath, think, and choose more compassion for themselves and others. Some even said they cried reading his message, not because of sadness, but because it reminded them that empathy is powerful. It reminded them that people can choose softness even when hurt. The person who originally posted the hate comment didn't respond further, which only added to the quiet beauty of the moment. There was no messy back and forth, no escalation. Tay's response settled the tension before it even had a chance to grow. It was like watching a storm cloud disappear the instant sunlight touched it. As the story continued to spread, longtime supporters reflected on the journey they had watched Tay take over the years. He had experienced growth, challenges, and success, but through it all, he stayed humble. People said this was one of the reasons his fanbase was so loyal, because they admired not only his career but the kind of person he showed himself to be. Some media outlets went deeper, discussing how celebrities are often expected to withstand endless criticism without reacting. Many are taught to ignore hate, to stay silent, or to fight back only through official channels. Tay's reply showed a different possibility, acknowledging negativity without letting it poison the heart. It was gentle yet firm, graceful yet honest. People found relief in seeing cruelty answered not with more cruelty, but with compassion. What made his response even more touching was the subtle reminder that not every hateful message needs to be met with anger. Sometimes, responding with kindness is enough to end the cycle. Sometimes, acknowledging someone's pain or frustration, even when it's misdirected, can soften their words. The international community soon caught on. Fans from different countries translated his response into multiple languages so others could read and feel it. The meaning remained clear in every translation. Even when someone tries to undermine you, you can choose to stand tall without stepping on anyone. On fan pages, people created art inspired by his message. Drawings of him surrounded by soft colors, quotes written in delicate fonts, even short videos revisiting the moment. It was as if the world wanted to honor the quiet strength of his approach. Discussions also emerged about mental health, both for celebrities and fans. Some noted how easy it is for words online to leave invisible scars. Tay's choice to respond with kindness became an example of emotional resilience. It reminded people that acknowledging hurt is not weakness, responding gently is not surrender. Instead, it is strength, a strength that does not dominate but illuminates. Even those who weren't familiar with him before this moment found themselves drawn to his sincerity. They watched clips of him in interviews, saw how he laughed easily, how he listened closely when others spoke. They discovered his performances, his projects, and understood why so many people admired him. Eventually, the conversation reached a peaceful place. The noise quieted. Tay continued with his life, his work, his interactions with fans, the same as before. And yet, something had shifted in the hearts of those who watched the moment unfold. They remembered how his response made them feel safe, seen, and reminded that kindness is never wasted. In the end, his message did more than diffuse a negative comment. It reminded people that the way we respond matters. It reminded them that behind every name on the screen is a person, with feelings, dreams, and struggles. Tay's gentle reply became a soft light in a space that can so easily turn dark. And that light traveled far, touching hearts that needed to see it. Some stories make headlines because of shock. This one made headlines because of grace. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything.